Hey, it's Bob Duffy from Intel here, and we've got another exciting episode of TechCraft. Today we're looking at Dream Textures, an add-on for Blender for creating textures and materials simply by describing them. And I'm excited that we're going to do all of this on an Intel Core Ultra with a built-in Intel Arc GPU using the MSI Prestige 16. It just blows me away that we're able to do work like this on a device like this. We're doing AI and Blender at the same time. So you may be asking yourself, what's the big deal about textures anyways? So textures are part of the 3D asset workflow for creating gaming assets, architecture assets, cinematics, and design. And a single asset can cost tens of thousands of dollars to create, where materials and textures can be about half of that workflow and price. And we can reduce all of that with AI. So it's nice to have tools like this that run on devices like this. So let's jump into Blender and give Dream Textures a go. So here we are in Blender. On the left, I have a 2D image plane, and then I have a viewport, a 3D viewport on the right here. Um, and then on the bottom right, I've got an area where I'm going to select my materials as we go through this. So this, I'm just giving you a lay of the land of how my layout is working. But when you install Dream Textures, under Preferences, you're going to have the add-on there, and it will be loaded that way. And then once that's done, it will be available through the end menu on any of your viewports. So in the 2D viewport, you'll have an end menu, and then also on the 3D viewport, you can have an end menu. And that'll explain the differences of the two. So if we're in our 2D viewport there, I can bring up the end menu, and there's a couple of things that I can do. I can select which model that I want to use. And since we're doing 2D, it's going to be the Stable Diffusion 1.5. You can set your resolution and then a prompt for what kind of image you want to generate. And then you're going to type in your prompt. I've got their flower fabric, and I'm going to change this to roses. Then you can set your negative prompt there, however you'd like. And then under advanced is where you can do things that are really cool, is set it to be a seamless texture or not. And then you can set which processors you're going to use for different portions of this. If we're doing the 3D viewport, I'll show you how to select NPU. And then you click generate and you start going. So I'm going to get rid of the end menu here, and then that's going to go ahead and work. And I just want to show you how this works. So I have some textures over on the right, like brown leather texture that I created. That was really what the prompt was, and it generated that really nice texture. I also have, I think, a red linen in here somewhere. Yep, there it is. Red linen, and then I think is really cool. You just generate these textures without having to download them. And then here's kind of like a mid-century modern, kind of brown and orange geometric modern, fabric that I created. And you can create anything you want. You don't have to just create fabrics here. Another flower pattern right here. And then, yeah, it looks like we're done. So let's go ahead and turn it onto this. Let me select that one, and I can change the size there a little bit. And there you go. Beautifully seamless textures done just by typing what it is that I want. Okay, we're back in the 3D viewport all to its own, and we've got a number of treasure chests here. So we're going to do something called projection mapping, where I projection map a texture on the treasure chest. So let me get rid of these extra ones here, and we're going to focus on this red and steel treasure chest. So let me go ahead and zoom in on this guy, and then I can bring up the end menu. Like I said, we're going to projection map rather than create a single seamless texture. So with that, you don't want 1.5. You want control net depth int 8. And int 8 is what's going to allow us to use the NPU at the same time. The rest of the settings are the same. Set your size, custom, and then we go in and put on our prompt. So let's change this treasure chest, and let's change it to be maybe a wood and gold, right? So let's change the color scheme up here a little bit. And then I think what we can do is the rest of this is going to be the same. You can select different processors for different types, but what we're going to do here specifically is we're going to select NPU for the negative device. So the NPU is actually going to be put to task in this as well, and we're going to do it to run the negative prompt. The rest of this will be exactly the same. And then we're going to have to select our mesh and select everything in order to get going. But again, what we're doing here, it's not a seamless texture. What we're going to generate is a texture that gets projected on the device. And so we'll have different textures on at the same time. So we've got everything selected. We hit load model. And then what I can do is bring up my command window to see how this is going. This takes a little bit of time to load it. And then once it's done loading, we can go ahead and move forward. And then I can, hit project texture here. So let's go ahead and click that and get that going. Just so you guys know, I'm going to make sure that performance monitor is running so we can see that we're using both GPU and an NPU. Let me set this to compute so we get the right data, and we'll pop back into this when we do it the next time. All right, so that looks okay. I mean, the wood kind of looks like wood. The gold is okay, but I think we can do better. So let's go ahead and change this prompt, and we'll change this up to, I think, we'll make it an iron and, we'll make it iron and wood, and we'll do it again. So let's go ahead and hit that. And so here with Performance Monitor up, I'll show you that Intel Core Ultra processors have an array of engines optimized to accelerate different kinds of AI workloads. So in this case, what you're seeing is we're assigning two of them to two separate parts of the same task to improve the overall performance. So NPU and GPU working at the same time. And there it is, a beautiful treasure chest that looks like wood, that looks like iron. That's a winner to me. But wait, there's more. So I thought I'd show you more that you could do. So I modeled this out, the street and these buildings. Everything here is done using Dream Texture. So the concrete, the road, the brick buildings, windows, etc. Just typed away and generated textures. So I want to do more stuff like this, show you what you can do using AI on an Intel Core Ultra and Intel Arc GPU. So if you enjoyed this, please like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and we'll do more of TechCraft. Until next time, I'm Bob Duffy. We'll catch you later.